Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This month, as part of my celebration of our 400 and counting subscribers, I decided to invite a couple I personally know. One of these two have a mental health condition. They are happily married with a child, and I want you guys to get to know more about their story. So first of all, I'd like them to introduce themselves. Ladies first.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for having us on your channel. We are so glad to be on your channel. My name is Cecilia Ashaley. I'm a person with lived experience. That is, I have a condition of bipolar affective disorder. I'm a mother and a wife. And I work as a programs assistant at Basic Needs Ghana. I love blue so much, so
Can see.
yeah.
Okay. So please, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Ali Kojo Isaac, and Cecilia is my wife, and we've married for almost 4 years now. With one kid. Yeah.
Okay. That's nice. Thank you so much for coming to my channel and for doing this for me. It means so much to me. So Cecilia, how did you and Ali meet before getting married?
Yeah.
Short one.
So for the first meeting, we met at a party. I don't know if Ali will recall that, but I was with my friends and he was also with his friends. We met at the party in the neighborhood. So he just came over and then said hi and hello to us, and then that was it. But before that, he used to stay with my brother. So he knew me by then, but I wasn't too familiar with him. And later on, he moved to his own apartment, so we didn't see each other again. But sometimes he comes to the house to visit my brother, and from there on, we started talking.
So we have to thank your brother for helping you find your soulmate. Okay, so Cecilia, you said you were diagnosed with bipolar disorder. When did this happen?
Yeah, so I was diagnosed in 2017. That's the early months, around March in 2017. Yeah.
So were you married or you were single when you were diagnosed?
I was married. Just after we got married, that was when I was diagnosed.
Okay. So Ali, what were some of the symptoms you noticed that made you realize that Cecilia has or may have a mental health condition? What were some of the things you saw?
Yeah. When you ask him, sometimes he will not respond. Sometimes you talk to her, she will keep silence. She'll say, "Nah, I want to kill myself. You don't love me." Meanwhile, you haven't done anything now. Let her say something like that. And sometimes even going to bath. Even going out to associate with friends, it becomes a problem. He doesn't want to go out. Lock himself up in the room. So I realized this wasn't the same as before.
She had changed.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ali, what made you decide to seek professional help for her condition?
Yeah, when it happened, I remember the first time I took action about it, when he started taking knife and trying to commit suicide.
She took a knife.
Yeah, and tried to commit suicide. So I called her family members, especially her father, and then they took her to herbalist, and they tried their best to control the situation. But for two weeks, he spent about 2 months there. And when he came, after 2 weeks, it started happening again. He started relapsing again. So from there, I said, no, if we've tried the herbalist and then it seems not working, why don't we go to the hospital to find out whether we will get a solution there.
Okay.
So that's where we went to the hospital, and then initially they said it was acute psychosis. But later on, when the relapses were coming, upon further checks, they changed the diagnosis to bipolar disorder.
Okay. So that should tell you viewers that when, like, all these alternative methods, herbal medicine is good and all that, but the lasting and great solution to take is to seek professional help, because like you said, it worked for like 2 weeks, but still it wasn't permanent. It wasn't effective. So Cecilia, was it easy for you, for someone who had been married for just 3 months, to accept your condition, like have a mental health condition?
Honestly speaking, not at all. It wasn't easy for me to accept my condition initially, because I never thought about me developing a mental health condition, and I had very little knowledge when it comes to mental health then. So I never thought such a thing would happen to me. And anytime I think about mental illnesses and mental health conditions, I think about the vagrants on the streets, and I said I haven't done anything wrong to deserve that. I think maybe they probably have done something bad, that is why they've been punished with that. So I never thought something like that would happen to me, especially that I've just got married and I'm starting up a new life. I never thought. So I didn't accept the fact that I've developed. I didn't even want to take my medications because I said no, it's not me.
Okay, so how about you, Ali? Was it easy or difficult to accept that your new wife of 3 months now has a mental health condition?
To me, it wasn't easy, and to say it wasn't that difficult too. Yeah, because when it happened, I couldn't understand, but I tried my best to see it in a positive way.
Okay.
Yeah, so all that came to mind when Cecilia developed the condition was how I'll be able to get a solution or solve the problem. So my mind was not on the negative aspect of it, what people will say or what the impact the situation will have on me. I was focused on how to get things into control or how to get a solution to the problem. Yeah.
So Cecilia, what are some of the things you have done to make progress in your mental health journey as a mother, as a wife, as someone who is working?
Yeah, I would say that from the early start, it was very difficult for me. But upon meeting with friends, new friends, and new people, like my organization, Basic Needs Ghana, I came into contact through Basic Needs Ghana. I came into contact with another organization, that's Mental Health Society of Ghana, and we went through trainings and other things through the Time to Change Global project. And with that, I started developing some kind of confidence in me. I started doing some readings on the condition. So I said, okay, then if this is it, then I should take my medication. If I get well depends on taking my medication, then I should take it. And I should also know that I can still do whatever I want to do, even with my mental health condition. So I started gaining more knowledge on it, and I was okay. Yeah, so reading about it, taking my medications helped me to actually cope with my condition. Yeah.
What about Ali? What did you didn't say you did anything for it.
Yeah, Ali has also been very supportive because all this while, even if I don't have medicines, he will make sure that I'll get them. Even though I wouldn't say we have a perfect relationship, but sometimes we have our differences. Sometimes sometimes not what to take my medication becomes a problem between us. But later on, we settle our differences and we are good to go. Because we are not perfect, we are human. So just as I am a human, he is human. So we sometimes have our differences, but we try to settle it and then move forward in life, and that has been helpful to us.
Okay, so Ali, I know you said you tried to be positive, and Cecilia just said that there's no perfect relationship. Was there ever a time Cecilia abused you because of her condition? Because with bipolar, you know, the mania can make you say and do crazy things and hurt people. Can you tell us an instance?
It has happened many times, right?
Many times.
Yeah, but one that I recall was I remember some time ago I came back from work. He himself prepared some fufu and I was happily sitting there, and happily I went and bought one club to do my things. I was then at the time I realized the club with the glass was on me. What was going on? Started beating me. I couldn't even finish the share of food that she herself prepared for me. So, far for abusing me, it's happened many times. But later on, we settled it. As I said earlier, in every situation, you being positive will help you solve the problem. If I would have said she intentionally did it, and I'll get annoyed, what will happen next will be a different thing altogether. But I understand the situation. So what I did was, I rather apologized to her, and then everything was okay.
So being her like primary caregiver, because I know you have a son who is how old?
Yeah, he's this December he'll be 3.
He'll be 3 years
Yeah.
old. Obviously, we couldn't take care of you, so Ali was mostly doing that. So Ali, what were some of the things you did to support Cecilia? Because how old are you in your bipolar journey?
So 3 years now.
3 years. Okay, so what are some of the things you did these 3 years to support Cecilia to come this far on her road to recovery and her mental health journey?
Firstly, I always make sure she has medication. Secondly, if the medication are there, you're not taking it, it's like you don't have it. So I always make sure she takes her medication too. There are certain instances where we have problems in whether she should take or not to take, especially when she is in the relapse stages.
Okay.
Yeah,
So relapse is when the sickness comes back and it comes back harder.
Yeah. It becomes difficult for her to take, and it becomes difficult for me to also convince her to take. So those are some of the things I try my best to help her. The truth is what will help her be in a right state.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other things that I do to help her too, some are personal, some are
sure.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to share.
Yeah, because sometimes I have to wash, sometimes I have to cook, sometimes I have to even take care of the kid, our small boy, schooling and everything. Sometimes for a month, all the burdens will be on me. Yeah.
Yeah, so that means one must be ready to sacrifice, like help out.
Yeah. Besides the sacrificing, you have to understand the situation and understand her too. Because if you don't understand her, you think that she has to do this and she is not doing it. She has to do that and she is not doing that. That alone will bring conflict between you two anytime. But if you understand and you know, my wife used to do this, but she's not doing this today. This is the reason why she's not doing it. So let me come in. When she is okay, she will do it. Even we all as human, there are certain instances nothing is wrong with you, but you calm down. You don't feel like doing anything. So if you understand each other, the differences will be there, but it will not be anything that will cause problem.
Okay, that's very, very true. So Cecilia, would you advise anybody to marry someone with bipolar disorder or any other mental health condition?
Yeah, I would say that first of all, we are all humans and we are equally useful as any other useful person out there. So don't be afraid to get in contact with the person with mental health condition, especially bipolar or any other condition. All you need to do is to read more on the condition, the person's condition. Get acquainted to what you can do to support and to help. So when you are blessed with all these things, I don't think it will be a problem getting closer or even getting married to the person. So yeah, we need to get more knowledge on the condition, so that at least when the person is doing or there's a mood swing, you will know that, oh, this is what is happening, so you won't be surprised. Yes, that's all you need to do, so that you can get closer and get married. Yeah.
So what about you, Ali?
Yeah,
Do you think
yeah.
what do you think about that?
I was once asked this question, and I asked the person if whether she will marry someone who is sick with malaria. He said yes. Why? He said eye sickness. But sometimes something that we forgot is bipolar, acute psychosis, any mental thing is a sickness which can happen to any other person. It doesn't matter whether you have money, you don't have money, or anybody. It can happen to anybody. So if the person has a mental disorder or mentally challenged, doesn't mean the person cannot marry. You say we are married for almost 4 years. We have our difference. People who are married without mental challenge also have their differences. Some are even worse than ours. So people saying if you have mental problem or challenge, you are mentally challenged, you can't get married to anybody. It is not true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
Okay, so Cecilia, knowing you have a mental health condition and your husband does not have a mental health condition, what are some of the things you've learned as a mother and a wife?
Yeah, so some of the things I've learned throughout this journey is just like Ali said, it's something that has no respect for social status or educational background or family background. So what I have learned is it can happen to anybody. Just to respect each other, yes, and then to understand each other. And when I am out of my low moods, I try as much as possible to make my family happy as I can. Yes, I try all my best, so that in terms of me going to my low moods, at least they will know that this is not me. It's when it's me, this is what I do. Yes. So this is something I have learned, just to respect each other's opinions and other things. Yeah.
Okay. So Ali, what are some of the things you have also learned as a husband? Because you don't have a mental health condition, but your wife has a mental health condition. What are some of the things you've learned so far?
Understanding.
Okay.
Understanding her situation, understanding her, and secondly, to take good care of myself, to be able to take care of her.
Okay, so you have to remember that you also need to take care of yourself. Okay, thank you so much for coming on the channel, Mr. and Mrs.
Ali.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. It's not easy for everyone to come out and say that my wife has a mental health condition and all that. So thank you so much. It's been such an honor. We hope you come on the channel another time. Thank you so much. I am really, really grateful. So from all of us, from the Ali Mansion, it's bye.